Hi, everybody. Excuse me a moment. Um, oh, I hope you're doing well. I'm doing okay. I've been better. I stayed up till about 1:30 last night, which isn't usually a problem because I like getting up, right after the sun comes up, normally, with exceptions like last night. So I stayed up late and laid down and kind of had a lot on my mind, so I wasn't sleeping good or nothing, but just resting. But um, I fell asleep and I was dreaming. I was drinking a glass of water. So I get up. I'm like, I gotta go get a glass of water. So I get up and I got my arm out because usually I got this light on in the living room and it kind of shines where I can see where I'm going, but it was unplugged. And I walked into the freaking door frame and I dang near knocked myself out. I didn't see stars, I just saw more darkness. Well, I made it, I got myself a glass of water and went back to bed, but then I did sleep a little later than usual. So just resting, but yeah, I just about just about knocked myself out just trying to go to get a drink of water in the middle of the night. That's bad. I mean, I've been known to walk into door frames and whatever. I mean, I'm just kind of like that. I mean, not as much as I used to be, but I don't know. It's like the door wasn't supposed to be there type of thing, So, but yeah. Yeah, that was a rough one. Oh, I feel so sorry for people that think that everybody lies on this planet. Not everybody does. But, maybe when they're little children and they don't grow out of it. But when adults lie, it's like, shame on you, grow the hell up, whatever. But, like men hating on women and vice versa. And I watched a video a friend had put out. Well, I'm his friend. I don't know if he's mine because he thinks all women lie because he had done to him things that I had done to me too. And so I can relate, but he doesn't know how badly I can relate. And I just wrote on there, like he was going off about this woman that said she hated men and she was like an anchor off of Fox News and whatever. And I'm thinking, oh, if anybody had a reason to hate men, and I almost went that route. I really did, but thank God I pulled my head out of the dark before I had my sons. Can you imagine somebody that hates men or women having the gender that they don't like? Happens every day, huh? That's sad. But I'm just on here shooting the breeze. I don't know. Not really a whole lot on my mind. Just been like yesterday, my dog got sick from the heat and barfed all over the place, the poor little thing. And it wasn't extremely hot out, but it also was smoky. Well, from these wildfires, and so they say. Well, I haven't been to Canada, and I was in Montana, but I didn't. The fires weren't going when I was out there. And Lionel from Lionel Nation said that it was really hazy, extra hazy, looking out over the Hudson River in New York City, more so than usual, and that it was supposed to have been the wildfires, but nobody's associating any of these hazy skies with chemtrails and stuff. And it's like, yeah, that did occur to me. But yesterday, um, from yesterday morning until about late afternoon, going in the evening, it smelled like burnt plastic. And Doug says, well, the neighbors were burning something over in their yard. And it's like, no, it was even, I don't think that was it because there was people in a town 20 miles from me and another one about 30 miles from me, and people in my town 8 and 10 miles away from me saying that they smelt this burnt plastic. So it wasn't the neighbors, although it could have been, also. But these people were actually God dang fucking head still hurts. Excuse me. Oh, should I move my eyebrows? I like, whoa, ouch. Oh, that's crazy. Good thing I didn't knock myself out because Doug had a few beers. He would have never known. There's one time I literally when I was having symptoms of stroke because of my allergies and the infection inside my body. I like fell on the floor in the bathroom and nobody noticed. My two adult sons and Doug. Another time I'm in the uh, kitchen. I was walking across the kitchen floor and just passed out, you know. Um, but anyway, so help, help. Huh? Did you say something? No, they would have helped me, I'm sure. But, you know, in the bathroom, the thing is, I fell right in front of the door, and they may not have been able, they would have had to take it off the hinge or break it down or something, I don't know, to even get in there. But when I woke up, I was like, okay, I don't like this one bit, you know. When I did go to the doctor and I told him these things were happening to me in the evening, I was having heart palpitations and different things. And it's just like anything, you know, because like if you work hard through the day or people that are sick, like when I was working in the retirement homes, we knew that most deaths occur either in the evening or right before morning because they'd suffered all day long and they just can't hang on anymore. And if you're sick, you actually get like sicker towards the end of the day because you've had to deal with the whole day of not feeling good. And for an older person, sometimes they just don't make it through it, you know. But I wasn't very old at the time. When that happened, I was 50ish, somewhere around in there, but just didn't realize. And then we had a carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, monoxide coming up through the bottom of our house. And I even had a detector, and we checked like the furnace, and we had new pipes put on under our house and from our gas tank, and they used water fittings instead of gas ones, and they all were leaking. We could have sued them, but I was just for number one. I did well. My rabbit got really sick, and littler animals will suffer because of. But I was sleeping with my. I was like really hot all the time. I'd sleep with my head in the winter by an open window, you know. So I actually started menopause at the age of 34, and it went on for my eyes doing one of them numbers, um uh well into my 50s, so hot flashes and everything. But I'm sure that was a combination of allergies and having valley fever that wasn't treated and being bit by a recluse and different really bad things I've had as far as compromising my immune system and staying strong. I'm a walking miracle, I'm telling you that. I really am. I mean, all the things that happen to me, you wouldn't even, yeah, I keep telling you this, but God saved me and helped me like so many times. I hardly have words to express that because I know it's Him. That's why, okay, that's something that is on my mind. Just one moment. Excuse me. Mm. I have a friend that, well, more than one, but I have a friend that is really struggling with one with their faith in God, and another one just wanting to keep going on in life and not give up. And not quite sure where I was going with that point. I'll get there. I'll light a cigarette and then I'll let you know what I was. Oh, I'll go this way just a second. But yeah, I've wanted to give up before. I even tried to take my own life a few times and I was safe. So I really am lucky to be here. So, and yeah, I was diagnosed with depression and they wanted to give me pills for it. And then I just realized that there isn't a pill that can help with sadness. That's something, and, it's like, and things do accumulate. There's days like if I think of one sad thing, I'll think of another sad thing, and pretty soon I'm like just drowning in sorrow, and it's like, oh, whew, I can't let myself go there because once you start thinking of one thing and the other ones and they compound, that's when you start thinking you don't want to live. Well, I've never really wanted to live on this planet. I'll be honest with you. I'm just telling you the truth. I've never had enough happiness to convince me that this is where I want to live for eternity. You know, of course, when the Christ Spirit goes into everybody, that's going to be different. But, so far, um, it hasn't been like that. So, you can't blame a person. So I can't blame these people and say, well, you're wrong for feeling like that because no, you're absolutely not. And it's easy for people to say, well, think positive and everything. Sure. Yes, that's a really easy thing to say, isn't it? But when somebody's suffering with depression, and I have another very young, well, she's a girl on my Facebook page that suffers from depression. And I can't say, well, it's going to get better or eventually the pain will go away or it just doesn't work like that. Once your body, the chemicals in your body gets to a certain stage and your whole body will start changing because of it. And you do have to be aware of that like that. So, yeah, kind of that's been on my mind because I don't believe in the clinical term depression. Um, Now, if somebody like steps on your head, that's depression, you know. And to me, that's what this world is. People aren't depressed. People have been victims of abuse. Doesn't make them depressed. That makes them sad. It makes them unhappy. You know, it's like when I moved in with Doug, and my dad said, well, that Doug wasn't welcome to come to their house and whatever. And he hadn't done anything to them. It was just the fact that they liked my ex, and my ex was more in the frame of mind that they were in, like the Aleister Crowley do what thy wilt type of mindset. So they could get along with him a lot better than they could and control him. They could control him with money or whatever, and that never worked with me. And it does not work with Doug. Doug's just like me. It's like we have a friend where he has to like be really quiet when his wife comes around because they're into witchcraft, her and her sister and family, and I think they're trying to kill him. But he has to be quiet of what he's going to say around them and stuff. And it's like Doug and I are not like that at all. There's nothing you can say or do to make us do something against our will. Not one thing. But other people are. Well, he has cancer and he almost died once, so he's not feeling his tip-top shape. And a lot of times when people are physically injured, that can lead to emotional complications, such as depression and whatnot. Divorces will do that, deaths in a family, um, abuse, different things, drugs, malnutrition, all kinds of reasons or a combination thereof. I just finally watched that hokey lifting off into space that they did, the Bezos thing and everything. And it's like, wow, I just cannot believe people are buying this, you know, can't believe it. But, and when they stop believing what the people that want to control them, they don't conceive that this old money that has been gained by murder and torture and slavery through the years, through all these families that do socialize with each other, um, and barely with the common person. That old family money is exactly just that, and wherever they apply it, they're all going to benefit from that, you know, and that is a very true situation. But people just don't, and to say that there isn't a space force, well, there is. But where are they going to go when the stars are in the firmament and there's water up above that? You know. Um, yeah. Uh, anyway, yeah, and then that goes back to how much does a person actually? You can say you believe in God and you believe in the scriptures and stuff. Well, what do you actually believe then? If you believe in God and you believe in the scriptures, then there's no way that you can believe that there's an outer space. Here's another one for you. How in the world does the sun rays? Okay, outer space is cold. How do the sun rays not warm the whole outer space before it gets to our planet? There's one for you. Answer that. So, what does it do? Like, it just like runs uphill and then comes back down? Or because if it was shooting a straight line of rays, the whole outer space in between us and the sun would be warm, and so would everything around it for millions of miles, you know, because it would just keep heating everything up, you know. And the earth does produce its own type of heat energy. So I don't know. I can't prove anything, but I'm just saying, you know. So, but yeah. It says specifically, I think it's in Solomon for sure. It's in Solomon and in Isaiah and in Genesis. The stars and the planets were placed in the firmament. Firm means put, stationary, solid. So if the planets are in the firmament, that's like having um, a rock in the earth. It's in there. That's where it is. And you can't take a spaceship and go in there. And also, it's called the vault of heaven, is where the stars are in the vault, indicating that it's locked, so they can't go nowhere and they know it. That's why they're here, you know, desperately trying to breed themselves out of here with a human soul that they'll never obtain. So, yeah, what they got to do, and this is their last chance, is stop torturing human beings that have no clue what they're being is being done to them. When they stop doing that, God may show some mercy. At this point, He totally hates them. They're wretched. He hates them. Look it up. You know, I probably like them more than God does. You know, maybe barely, but it's not like I'd even let them in my house. Really, most people be like, oh, if they pulled up in a limo and had suits on and it's the president, oh, come in, welcome, blah blah blah, so nice to meet you, sir. I'd be like, look, dirtbag, hit the road. I'm not impressed, and that is true. So, I'm sure plenty of you out there too, if you have God in your heart, you're like, no thanks, go away. Try another time, Satan. That one didn't work. So, and oh, he will. He'll keep trying. Never gives up. He uses everybody. So anyway, it's been kind of an odd couple days. So, yeah. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, so anyway, I was talking about too about the forest fires and stuff. I have not actually witnessed with my own eyes, so I can't say that if it's all gray out because of chemtrails or fires or the combination of everything. But I have a sneaky suspicion, and this I can't prove either, that the fires were started. I don't know for what reason. I'm not sure. But I do know, part of the agenda of making the world into corridors where just animals live thousands and thousands of miles because they say there's overpopulation and they want to cram us all into cities and whatnot. And like a friend of mine, Sarah, hi, if you're watching, um, shared a post. Um, if there's no overpopulation if you drive from one end of the country to the other, which I have done in both directions and back again many times, all over the place in the United States, from Mexico to Canada, West Coast, East Coast, whatever. I've been all up and down all these areas where there was absolutely no one for hundreds of miles, you know, and overpopulation, even Africa, or there's some very, very large countries, Siberia, Russia, even China has a lot of land. You know, there's more land on this planet than what people really think. You know, that could be developed if that were the case. But yeah, and the people that want to socialize, you want to live in the city like a bunch of people in a zoo. Hey, have at it. Just not my thing. You know. So, oh, and that reminds me, you might have heard this story before, but I've told it before quite some time ago, which I am gonna too. I have a story I was telling that I am gonna finish, but I kind of quit talking about it because there were some really dipsticks on my channel uh, talking about crap and get me off the subjects I wanted to talk about. And I took time to entertain them and explain things to them when I should have just shut them down right away. But and it was out of love, not stupidity or anything else. So it's not that I don't love anymore. It's just that for a certain somebody, and actually there was three of them in particular, I'm not finishing that story till I feel like it, and I don't feel like it yet. But for the people that love me, I'll get there, and it'll be worth it. But anyway, when I was a little girl, must have been about, I'm going to say 11, maybe a little bit younger. I went up into the woods and there was this giant pine tree, and I used to bounce on its branches, and sit on it, and you could hang on to a couple of other branches and just bounce like a bouncy toy. Well, I didn't get to sleep at home a lot in my life because it was really very loud and violent quite often, and um, weird. So I'd go out in the woods and find some place to try and sleep, or I'd sleep in school and get beat on by the teacher or whatever. Pinched. She pinched me this one. I'm gonna get hit with them pointer sticks and stuff. But so anyway, I needed some sleep, so I went up into the woods and actually just to play on the tree, but I got tired, so um, and I was sleeping, and I swear to God, and there was no wind or anything, and this tree's branch went like this and encompassed me. It freaked me out so bad. I think I was half awake or half sleeping, and I could have been actually um, dreaming, but I'm not sure if I was. So, anyway, um, I got up and ran, and I got home just in time to before my dad got home, so I didn't get in trouble. Um, so to me, it always felt like God woke me up to get me home before I got in trouble. But oh, it's just the weirdest thing. I can't prove that tree hugged me, but it did. Yeah, that's true. Or I could have been dreaming, but I swear I was so freaked out. I ran all the way home and I had trouble going back to my tree. I took a friend with me the next time I did go. Um, and we played on it and stuff. She had a lot of fun, and I kind of sat back on the side of the hill and watched her playing for a while. I'm looking at that tree like, mm. I don't know if I ever went there alone after that. I might have. I'm not sure, but can't recall. Anyway, that was kind of funny. Probably a dream. Maybe not, though. God does work. He's in everything, you know. He's probably thinking, oh, I don't want my little girl to get beat up again. Let's get her home, you know. So, because back in my days, when parents would womp on their kids, they didn't, child protection service wasn't really a thing. I mean, it kind of was, but shit, if they cared about me the first time I was brought back from being adopted, they would have known I was abused. So they didn't care. That's the way they are. So they still don't care. But anyway, maybe some do. I had a friend, Judy, that was a social worker, worked with child services, and had three boys of her own. And she was a very sweet lady and went through hell. But yeah, some social workers are good people, but doesn't mean they all are. Yeah, I don't know. Not too much else going on. Like I said, I just wanted to say hello and um. Oh, have you ever heard of tachyon displacement? I have to look into it. Another friend's going to look into it. It's something with the Schumann resonance. I don't know if it has to do with the metal that they're putting in the air. What I do know is there's a byproduct of making iron ore called taconite, and its chemical makeup is iron, silica sand, and iron oxide from rusting. And we get these little taconite pellets that they used to just throw away, but they found how to refine it where they can use it for not hardened steel, but other types of metals, like probably into aluminum and different things. So, um, but anyway, so if I find out more about that tachyon thing, I'll let you know. Um, that it has something to do with whatever is in the air and whatever the frequencies have been spiking. Like they usually only go to like 4 or 7 even is very high, but then they were having like in 2020, or no, I think they said 2018 or something, spikes to like 14. Then like last year they saw it in the 30 range, and now there's spikes up to 40, which is crazy, crazy. So, and people that watch those charts, there's ones, the only ones, excuse me, they could find to follow yesterday or day before yesterday were in Siberia, and all the other ones were closed offline. So why were all these people? Why were the charts that follow the Schumann resonance around the world? Why were all those sites shut down except for one? And updating software or hiding something. Don't know. But if I hear any more about all that or find out what that tachyon thing is, I'll let you know. There's a channel called Seven Spalding, Seven Spalding, Spaulding, I do believe. Um, anyway, he's looking into that for us, and he's going to let us know. He's a sky watcher from Cincinnati, and has been watching um, everything that's been going on. He worries me because I don't know if it's because he went over to the Giza pyramids and something got in him or something, but the young man's worrying me. Not that I think that Satan will get his ass. It's just that he's having doubts on his beliefs. Now he knows there's a supreme creator, and there's many times he's just praising Jesus, but on the other hand, he has his moments where things are going so horrible in his life that and he really had a horrible life. A lot of us have. He's mixed race, so he gets it from both ends a lot of times. So um, anyway, so when I find out more, or if I do, I'll let you know. And that's probably about all for today. I'll upload this. I have to go clean up after my kitties and get a few things done. Well, I don't know, not a whole bunch. I'm already doing a few things, but that's about it today. I actually did. I don't know if you can see it, but oh yeah, you can. See, it was a little tiny um uh edging strip. What do you call it? Yeah. Oh yeah, sure. You passed your contractor's license molding. There's a molding on my door frame. And that little strip of molding I'm feeling, and I felt the door frame, and I'm like, muck. Oh, oh. So anyway, I will be okay. I think. I don't. It's not like bleeding in there or nothing, but I can physically see. Man. I mean, my face is lumpy anyway. There's not a part of my body that hasn't been hit or broken. Not 1 inch. You could ask me what's that scar, and I could tell you. Um, it's like my whole body is like that. So seriously, it used to not bother me, but things are getting old. So okay, everybody, peace and love from Pine City. Have a good night or day wherever you're at, and thank you for joining me.